back to the joint 23 and 1, and once you locked in, you locked down for life because ain't no getting out. And man, we got some motherfucking breaking news. They said motherfucking Russia done goddamn bombed one of these goddamn Navy goddamn SEALs goddamn ships. Well, I ain't gonna say Navy SEALs, but a U.S. Navy ship. And I guess it was carrying some oil or something like that. Anyway, it was carrying some product. And pretty sure some people on that motherfucker. And they dead now. So this just happened a few hours ago, if I ain't mistaken. So goddamn, this some breaking news, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta upload this, immediately, right away. But we gonna tap in and see what's going on. Hey man, this could be World War III, man. This could be the break of it, man. Who knows?
A disastrous collision off the coast of England, sending smoke billowing into the sky as jet fuel poured into the North Sea.
Solon has collided with tanker Stena Immaculate in the outer anchorage. Both vessels are abandoning.
The US-flagged Stena Immaculate oil tanker was anchored 15 miles offshore when a cargo ship punctured its hull, releasing highly flammable jet fuel that a US defense official tells NBC News was being carried for the US Navy.
While the whole world is trying to work towards peace and a ceasefire in Ukraine, it seems Russia is hell-bent on escalating things further. A Russian captain accidentally, or I guess not so accidentally, rammed into a US tanker that was carrying oil to the US Navy. The reason I say this may not be an accident is because we have more evidence coming out relating to this attack, and it seems that this may have been...
I want to stop it right there. Why is it an attack if it was on accident? See, man, that's some misleading ass news, man, because you got everybody already thinking we about to fuck around and go into World War III, nigga, just off the title. So they saying they don't know right now, y'all, if it's an accident or not. Basically, they ran into it, so it's not really an attack to where they bombed it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they striked it with an attack with a bomb. They saying, I guess it was a crash, it was an accident. So let's listen for some more, so we get all the details real quick. But right now, if they don't know if it's an attack or accident.
Planned out by the Russian captain on the ship. But before we get to that, let's get more details on the arrest of the captain.
That maritime collision on Monday in the North Sea off the coast of Yorkshire. And it's been reported that the Solon ship, which was of course the one that was moving and crashed into the stationary Stena Immaculate, that the master of that ship is a Russian national, that the rest of the crew were Russian and also Filipino. That's being reported in just the last few moments.
The captain of the cargo ship has been arrested on the charge of manslaughter. That's because one member from the cargo ship has not been found yet, and the search has been called off, declaring him presumed dead. Relating to the US tanker's crew, there were 23 people on board, but it has been reported that every single one of them was able to evacuate safely during the disaster. This is how the whole collision went down, and this is why some people are suspicious. As you guys can see from the image on your screen, the bluish line shows the route or the path of the tanker, the US tanker. On spot 1 on the image, the US tanker arrived on March 9th around 6:30 at night. Then it was anchored there all the way up until next morning when the collision happened at around 10 o'clock. Now, as you guys can see from this clip, the Russian ship held a straight course for over 2.5 hours directly aimed at the stationary US military tanker. Now, many are calling this an act of war, but that's only the case if there can be enough evidence to show that this was a deliberate ramming. But to play devil's advocate in this whole argument, there was a very thick fog at the time of the collision, and that could have played into the low visibility which led to the ship ramming into the stationary tanker. Investigation is still ongoing, but as we learn more, we'll be sure to update you guys, so be sure to hit the subscribe button down below to keep up with our future updates on this topic. Now, as if this news was not bad enough, Russia also seems to be unsure about if they want to accept the ceasefire or not. And this is what I mean. Yesterday we covered how a Russian MP is publicly saying that they're not going to accept ceasefire because it's just going to give Ukraine time to rest and rearm. When in reality, I think the Russian MP is forgetting it's not the Ukrainians who started this invasion, it's the Russians. And now we have Putin himself saying that he's not interested in a temporary truce for a month if all the Russian demands are not accepted, are not met. This was his statement. Putin responded to the idea of temporary truce a month and a half ago. This was Putin's statement back then. We are open to a dialogue with new US administration on the Ukrainian conflict. The most important thing here is to eliminate the root causes of the crisis, which we have spoken about many times. As for the settlement for the situation itself, I would like to emphasize again that its goal should not be a short truce, not some kind of respite for regrouping forces and rearmament, with the aim of subsequently continuing the conflict, but a long-term peace based on respect for the legitimate interest of all people, all nations living in this region. We will of course fight for the interests of Russia and the Russian people. This is in fact is the goal and meaning of conducting a special military operation. Now, Putin is saying he's fighting in Ukraine to fight for the Russian people. He's fighting in Ukraine for the interest of the Russian people. All the while, Russian people have a simple request from Putin. They're saying they don't want Crimea, they don't want Donbass, they want food, they want a good life, they want a job where the salary is not just disappearing because of inflation in just a few months. But Putin refuses to listen to all that. Instead, he just keeps printing money to keep funding his special military operation. But this is what Russian people are calling for publicly. They want Putin to stop this war and focus on the Russian economy.
I am Russian, and I don't need foreign territories. I don't need Crimea.
Damn, so you telling me Russia, this, damn, man. Somebody told me, if you go to Russia, go to their grocery stores, they only got like one brand cereal. You know what I'm saying? They got like everything just like, it's not really no brand. Like say you get cheese, it's just cheese. You know what I'm saying? You know how we go to the store, we got like all these different kind of cheeses. And I don't even know if that's kind of a good thing or a bad thing. If it's organic real cheese, I guess it's good. If you go there, you just get meats. Then they got vegetables, cheese, crackers, wheat to make bread, just, you know, cookies and just like, you know, just take the regular shit. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's alright. But I guess they saying like the people over there feel like they life ain't nothing like how we got our shit in America. And then they say Russia got one of the most, let's just say, expensive armies. You know what I'm saying? So if you can afford that much on your army, your people should be smooth. Like your people should be good. Not saying they're not good over there, but you know, they look like they look kind of miserable, motherfucker, a little bit of shit. I mean, your leader gonna always have his own agenda from the people, but you know, you gotta always take care of your people. I kind of think that's what Trump trying to do right now with America. But the topic right now is, you know, Russia attacked a U.S. Navy ship. So we trying to get to the bottom of the ship. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, what the fuck Russia and how he treating his people. That ain't my business. Shit. So let's go. U.S. Navy ship attacked by Russia. Oh, I see the shit. I mean the shit. That's the one I need to watch. See this? Oh yeah, so no, this the first. I guess it's the only video up on it right now. Let's scan through this. Actually, let me see. I guess we should just kept watching it, yo. Let's see.
Because of inflation in just a few months. But Putin refuses to listen to all that. Instead, he just keeps printing money to keep funding his special military operation. But this is what Russian people are calling for publicly. They want Putin to stop this war and focus on the Russian economy. And staying the same. With inflation like that,
hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces all of these. I'm talking about live scheduling, time tracking, and digital forms.
That's cool. See, nobody want to hear that. My bad, y'all.
with inflation like that, Russian lives are getting worse. An average Russian is suffering much more than he was before the war. All the while, the Russian media is making posts like this saying they're not worried about Trump's threats. Here, watch this clip.
Negotiations between the U.S. and UK in Jeddah may be Kiev's chance to restore relations with Washington, writes the British Economist, noting that the stake in the meeting and the resumption of America's military and intelligence aid. The Times says the signals from Washington are bleak and contradictory. According to CBS, Trump will want something more than just a deal about the resources. Specific conditions are yet unclear. The Bank of a Street fears that in case of a failure, Washington will simply force Kyiv to agree to any condition coordinated with Moscow. Abroad, Air Force One in the sky. Trump said that great events may take place this week. I think we are going to have a good time. I think we are going to have a good result in Saudi Arabia. We have a lot of good people going out there, and I think Ukraine is going to do well. And I think Russia is going to do well. I think some very big things could happen this week. I hope so. If we don't sit down at the negotiation table, Trump promised to impose new sanctions and tariffs against Russia. Tariffs against Russia sound quick funny. Russia and US have practically no trade. It's also in question whether they are creative enough to come up with new sanctions. It seems there is nothing else to impose. Watch our report about the mood in the White House. Abroad, the presidential plane, on his way from Mar-a-Lago to Base Andrews, Trump came out to talk to journalists. He immediately cut down the Washington Post that tried to snap at him about Putin. We are going to make a lot of progress, I believe, this week, Mr. President. Is Putin disrespecting you? By attacking Ukraine when you are trying to make peace. Who? Is President Putin disrespecting you by attacking Ukraine when you are trying to make peace? What did he do? He's attacked Ukraine. Is he disrespecting me? Who are you with? I'm Mishakal Birabal. With the Washington Post, you are lost a lot of credibility. Go ahead. What else? During the negotiations in Saudi Arabia, Secretary of State Rubio, Nettle Secretary Advisor Waltz, and Trump's special envoy, Witkoff, are expecting to hear the specific as to whether Ukraine is prepared to make substantial concessions to Russia. Washington is yet to feel that Zelensky wants peace. Are you comfortable with that? The fact that you walked away and Ukraine may not survive?
Survive?
Well, it may not survive anyway. But you know we have some weaknesses from Russia.
Уязвимости в отношениях с Россией.
If the dialogue once again turn into a scandal, Washington will crush Ukraine, writes The Economist. France Le Monde published a cartoon hinting that Trump is an agent of the Kremlin. The red mega hat has a tag with Russia's colors.
Lastly, as you guys know, over the last 2 weeks, few of our videos have been demonetized by YouTube for talking about sensitive topics and covering violent events. This is why recently we opened up memberships on the channel. This way you guys can directly support our content. Again,
If y'all well gonna check out his stuff, man, he just the guy that did the videos, gave us the video, and put the work together. I'm about to look more into that though, because I ain't seen nothing when I searched it on YouTube. Nobody else was covering this. Well, I'm gonna load up the video, man. I'm about to go do some more research on this, man. Y'all go ahead and look it up too, man. I guess Russia attacked the U.S. Navy ship, and then I guess one of the captains of the ship is in custody right now because he got a manslaughter case right now because there was somebody aboard the ship. Pretty sure it was more than one motherfucker, but I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out.